Welcome to Eventful Endeavors, secrets to crafting the perfect celebration. If you're planning an event and looking for useful tips from industry experts, you're in the right place. So get ready to take some notes and we'll dive right in. This is Eventful Endeavors.
Hello, everybody in the universe. This is Jake with Felix and Fingers Dueling Pianos, and I am honored to introduce my guest for the day. You guys, this is Jenna Buenger with Mitch and Jenna Weddings. How's it going, Jenna?
It's going great. How are you?
Doing fantastic. Doing fantastic. Looking forward to, I know we got a couple of weddings we're doing together this summer. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, it'll be great.
Heck yes. Well, I'd love to just kind of jump in and introduce you to the audience. I'd love for you to tell them a bit about Mitch and Jenna Weddings and how you guys came to be.
Yeah, it's an unlikely story that we really never saw coming, so it's always fun to kind of share that background. So Mitch is currently a firefighter full-time. I'm what I refer to as a recovering nurse. I worked through COVID and have since transitioned out, but we started because Mitch used to work at a church prior to becoming a firefighter, and he worked with young adults and college-age students, and because they were of the marrying age, they kind of just started transition into that season of life where they started to get engaged and needed someone to marry them. And he was a reliable, obvious choice. And so he started saying yes and officiating the weddings for them because we genuinely cared about the relationship behind the ceremony and the wedding that he was performing. We would get to know the couple and kind of go out on some double dates and have conversations with them. And then I was always his tag along plus one at these weddings he was officiating. And because I oftentimes didn't know a lot of other people at them, I would sort of sit in the back or kind of tag around where he was, and then would be an obvious choice to do remaining tasks that had never been thought of. And so the moment it kind of clicked for me was when I had a photographer friend at one of these weddings say, "Hey, you know, people get paid to do these things and they're prepared to do it." And I was like, "Yeah, you're right." And that was the same wedding where I was standing near a bride as she's waiting in a stairwell to get ready to walk down the aisle. And she had no one to open the door for her. And so she looks at me in this panic state and is like, "Hey, can you open the door so I can walk down the aisle?" It's like, "Yeah, absolutely. I have nothing else to do. Of course I can do that for you." And so it was kind of from then on that I was like, "Yeah, I think I like this. Let's see where this goes."
Heck yes. I love it. That must be a rewarding feeling, seeing the panic on the face and helping you through that. One of your
I
early
mean,
moments.
rewarding's one way of putting it. It was one of those, like, of course, I'm not going to be that evil person that tells you no. Like, what would that be?
I love it. So you got your foot in the door through Mitch being an officiant with kids you
Correct.
already worked with, and now expanded into this wonderful business. Well, that's
Yeah.
wonderful. Congratulations. I would love to
Thank
hear a bit about what makes Mitch and Jenna Weddings a bit unique.
Yeah, I kind of touched on it a little bit already, but we offer a variety of different services. Obviously, we offer the officiating. So Mitch and he has a team of two additional officiants that can do weddings. And then
Mhm.
our team of planners, we offer month of coordination, partial planning, full planning. And then on the marriage side of things, we offer pre-marriage coaching and post-marital marriage coaching as well. So our couples that come to us to get married, whether we're just planning, officiating, or doing both, we also want to make sure that they feel prepared for the marriage that comes after the
Mm.
wedding day. So those are some different and unique services that our couples have access to.
That is fantastic. I'll talk about some all-inclusive services there. Wedding and marriage coordination. You know where to go to, Mitch and
Yeah,
Jenna. That's very cool. I love it. I
thank you.
love it.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah. You guys got a great thing going here. So next question was if you had any advice that you would give to somebody theoretically just starting out their wedding planning journey.
Yeah, advice to give a newly engaged couple. I think to start, I would just tell them to enjoy the moment of being engaged. There is so much planning that comes into a wedding day, and we really try to make sure all of our couples don't forget the reason they're getting married. Again, it all kind of goes back to marriage over wedding for us. And so our
Mm.
couples probably get sick of hearing it, but we want to make sure that they're prioritizing the marriage that comes after the wedding day because yes, it's just one day. And yes, we want it to be incredible and important and beautiful. But we also want to remind them that if you forget why you're planning this day, why you're spending the money, why you're inviting all of the guests, it really, at the end of it, isn't going to mean anything if you forget why you're doing it. And so helping them along the way and setting those expectations of like, hey, let's take a break from planning our wedding and let's go out on a date, or let's get together with some friends that can remind us of the friendship we have together between one another. So those are
Beautiful.
kind
Yeah.
of grand ideas, right? They're not specific to just a wedding, but if
Sure.
we lose track of why we're planning, what are we doing here? So our job as your planner, as your officiant, is to kind of remind you along the way of why you fell in love and how we can help you have the best wedding day possible, because we want to remind you of your love story from beginning to end.
Beautiful. That's great. Well, you got the clear mission statement there, and I would say that's definitely some unique offerings. That level of involvement and support, that's super exciting. And I can tell, being married myself, I can attest to that. That there's the party, but then don't forget that this is a whole life partnership you're signing up for. So I love it. That's
Absolutely.
cool.
And we all know those of us who are married know that marriage
Mhm.
takes work, right? And
It
planning a
is.
wedding takes work. And so it translates. We want to put the work in for the wedding day, but then also be reminded that there's work that comes after the wedding day.
That's right. That's right, everybody. If you didn't hear that at home, you're hearing it here first on the Eventful Endeavors podcast. Marriage takes work, everybody. Just so you know. Disclaimer. Mitch Jenna Weddings.
Disclaimer, yes.
Yeah, we can both. But totally worth it. Fantastic. Fantastic. All right. So love to hear maybe some recent events you've done. Maybe a story of something extra fun or unique that a couple did for their wedding.
Yeah, last year we had a couple have beer barrels. So they had beer donkeys. And it was just super fun to see these donkeys walking around with flower wreaths. And one donkey had the groom's mother's favorite beer, and the other donkey had the groom's father's favorite beer. And so it was just kind of a sentimental touch and nod to his parents, who unfortunately were not there, but it was fun. Everyone loved the donkeys. They were beautiful, well behaved, and it was just kind of one of those like, oh, I haven't seen this before. Another one would have been, we had a magician for a cocktail hour. That was super fun. Blown away by the up close and personal magic he was doing. And it was just an unusual, experience for most of the guests. Most guests are not used to being entertained like that during a cocktail hour. So it was really fun.
That is so fun. Up close magic. And you do it in a cocktail hour, so there's no risk of him making the wedding rings disappear. Genius.
Absolutely.
That's great. Wow, I got it. Those are some very fun suggestions. I'm excited for those to come out. The beer donkeys, especially. I'm impressed that they, can walk straight after having so much beer.
Yes.
That their job is to help you not walk straight. Well, those are great. I am sad that I didn't have any donkeys in my wedding, but that's okay. All right, so flip side of the same coin. We got some of the most fun things you've seen weddings do recently. What are some of the do not do list? What are some maybe cringeworthy moments that you would like to warn couples out there about?
Oh, I think cringeworthy moments for me personally are when the schedule and the timeline are packed so tight that there is no room for error and no room for the bride and groom to just take a breath and enjoy their day. We try really hard to encourage our couples to build in breaks or time away to just kind of breathe, remember what is happening and why they're there. Again, back to the why, the love story that is setting the tone for the day. But so many couples get so excited to throw such an amazing party for all of their guests that they oftentimes forget that they deserve that moment too, to be encouraged and loved and celebrated, but also to just step away and take it all in so that they can remember it.
That's some excellent advice. Helps you be present. Yeah, I know whenever we're working through timelines with a client, we're always trying to leave a little bit of buffer here and there, kind of estimate a few extra minutes for speeches and things like that. Any
Yeah.
other recommendations for kind of keeping your timeline realistic?
Man, hiring a team of vendors that is vetted and recommended, I mean, it goes a long way. Obviously, we think you should have a planner, hence why we have a job. But our job really is to be kind of the team captain of all of the vendors. And so not to take on the role of other vendors, but to communicate on behalf of everybody and make sure that the day flows. But even if you don't have a planner, we know
Mhm.
not everyone's going to, not everyone feels like they can afford it in their budget, whatever the reason is. If you don't have a planner or a point person to kind of keep the day moving, make sure that the team of vendors that you have chosen has good communication skills, because if they don't, the day will not run smoothly. So, kind of from the very beginning of your experience with the vendors you're choosing, if they're prompt, if they're clear, if the expectations are set, those are some good things to look for when booking the vendors that you're choosing.
Beautiful, beautiful. Entertainment, catering that can not just, make
Yeah.
an incredible hors d'oeuvre, but also is quick and clear communication. I love it. Good things to look
Yeah.
out for. Wonderful. Well, thank you, Jenna. Um, Next one is a bit more big picture. Any trends that you're seeing happening in the wedding industry overall?
Yeah, I am seeing a lot of couples really focusing on their guest experience and wanting a unique guest experience. And so, I mean, you're an example
Yes.
of that with specifically one of our couples. They want dueling pianos. They kind of want to forego the route of a traditional DJ, of traditional band, and they want something more interactive and entertaining. We are seeing a
Yes.
couple of our couples this year wanting to do more hors d'oeuvre casual style meals instead of sit down plated meals. They want it to
Yeah.
be not so formal and more, like I said, their focus is the guest experience. They want to be able to walk around and not feel stuck to the table, and to really just have an immersive experience with their guests. And so I love that. I love that couples are feeling free to make a decision that feels right and personal to them, because after all, it is your love story. It is your wedding day, and
Yeah.
regardless of everyone else's opinions, you're always going to have opinions from everyone else. I love when couples put what feels right to them kind of at the top of the priority list.
Man, that is beautiful. And I love the emphasis on guest experience. As you said, that's totally
Mhm.
one of our core values as well. And it's such a big difference. I think that's a great trend for it to be going in that direction versus pressure around traditional aspects. I love that they're making it feel personal for the guests. I know with us, it's like you get to feel like you're a part of the show, but a lot of these other things, like the magician during cocktail hour, it gets to feel like you're being celebrated as well, part of the experience, which I am a big
Absolutely.
fan. Yeah, makes for a
Yes,
fun party. It's wonderful.
sure does.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, I'd love to hear a bit. So you said Mitch was is an active duty firefighter. That's
Correct.
correct. That is
Yes.
fantastic. I love that. And how does he? How's the managing the firefighting in real life versus the putting out fires on a wedding day? How's he managing it?
I think what we both can bring to the table from our healthcare first responder background is that really a wedding, nothing about a wedding is life or death to us. We are cool, calm, collected, and can truly, like you said, pun intended, put out any fire that comes our way, because we've actually seen real life trauma, real life emergencies. And so anything that comes up on a wedding day in our minds is less than what we've seen in the workplace. And so, not to belittle those things, but our perspective is just different and unique. And so, we're problem solvers, we are critical thinkers. And so, our team kind of brings a different element. And by nature, we're used to talking with people of all different personalities, all different backgrounds. And so,
Mm.
we can kind of flux and respond to whatever personality presents itself and whatever level of energy is brought to us, which is not something I would have thought necessarily to be an important skill to have in this industry, but it really has proven its worth more times than I can count. And so I'm grateful for that. I never really thought I would transition from a full time nurse into wedding planning, but here I am. Got opened a door and we said, let's go. It's going to be a fun time. And I'm so grateful for those experiences I've had in the hospital and for Mitch in the fire world. And it's great. It translates uniquely well.
Well, that is very cool. You guys are such a beautiful couple, and I can't imagine better training for. I know being around some of these events, the pressure is very real. And talk about composure, the
Mhm.
experience that you guys have. Who'd have thought that'd be where you can apply it, bring it to the table? But yeah, unfazed, unfazed.
Yeah.
I love it. Very cool. Very awesome. Well, Jenna, that's all I got. I want to thank you so much for talking through the wedding day and some of the special things that you guys offer, and taking the time on your day to be with us. This was an absolute pleasure.
Awesome. Thank you, Jake. I really appreciate you having us. And well, it's just me right now, I guess, having me.
Yeah,
We
feels like
love
Mitch is around.
yeah, in heart, he's here.
Probably
Yeah, we
gonna get to
appreciate
meet
the
him in person.
opportunity.
Yeah, I get to meet Mitch in person soon.
Yes, that would be. I'm hoping it happens soon.
Fantastic, fantastic. Jenna Buenger, Mitch and Jenna Weddings, everybody. Thank you so much. Everybody have a wonderful day.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Eventful Endeavors, Secrets to Crafting the Perfect Celebration. We hope to have left you with some actionable ideas for your own event. If you like the show, please subscribe and definitely leave us a review. We read every comment. So until next time, happy planning and see you soon on Eventful Endeavors.